What's up, guys? It's your boy James, aka Six8Jay. Uh-oh, I forgot my green screen. Oh, shoot. Guys, my apologies as I'm about, 11 minutes, 10 minutes late past the time that I had advertised. I'm also coming off of a X Space with Edo Farina and many others, guys. So my apologies for the mishap. I was trying to get everything done, and a lot of times what happens is when you're streaming, and especially when you're a one-man show, I'm trying to go over the things that I have to put in place. I've got to also put out a X, or I don't know if they call it an X or a tweet, showing that I'm live. I got to go then post that into my Telegram group to let all those who are a part of the family, the Crypto for Life family, know that we are live. And so there's a lot of things that I do, and then I'm trying to get my system set up, make sure the lighting is right, and then with all that going on, I forgot to pull my doggone green screen up. So it's funny, it doesn't always happen that way, but sometimes it does. And then whatever challenges that you may have after that. So let me join our Crypto for Life family, guys. We'll put a little heart there because there's nothing but love here, and we keep it 100 all the time. You know how we do. And here's our Telegram. For those of you guys that might check in for the first time, that's our Telegram group. If you want to be a part of the announcements when we go live, we've got so many things that we've done, so many things that we have planned. And I'm telling you guys, I'm really, really excited, guys, about the things that I'm doing right now with Edo Farina, with Jack the Rippler. If you guys haven't had an opportunity to go over and check out the Twitter Live that we've been doing, the Twitter Spaces that we've been doing, go over here to our platform. I share all those things. Obviously, today we're going to be talking about the bear market. How bad will this get? We're going to be getting into that right now. But this right here was hosted by Jack the Rippler. It had myself. It had Edo Farina. It lasted about an hour and 44 minutes, but it was extraordinary. Shouts out to Anthony Wanner for being there. And for those of you guys that might have tuned in or may go back and listen to this, it was absolutely incredible. I think there was, 636 people tuned in, guys. I looked over at my Twitter. I had so many new followers, guys. So just some extraordinary people. Shouts out to Brent Hill. Shouts out to all those that were on there. Just incredible. And then the one gentleman, I believe his name was it Crypto? I can't think of it. There's a couple. There's another brother that was on there was speaking as well. Just powerful, powerful. And my apologies for not remembering the names, but guys, also the other day, if you look, we also did a Twitter space, myself and Edo Farina. Guys, we've got something going on. It's going to be every Tuesday, maybe even every Thursday as well. This right here wasn't it. This was with, this was a continuation, I believe, of the glitch that happened when they were talking to John Deaton and those guys right here with the Vitalik and ETH allegations. They had John Deaton on there. And then also, if you go back, you'll see that me and Edo Farina had Dr. Shiva, which was just a huge honor to have him on. The gentleman who you can see right here is documented at 14 years old, created email at 14. How smart was this guy? Also was put in time, the man who invented email. Look how young he was there. And this is also the guy who's also one of the U.S. presidential candidates. Regardless of where your votes may be or where your decision may lay, and I'm not here to influence that. I'm here to just say what an extraordinary mindset this guy has. It was a pleasure to have him on the show, and we've got some incredible things. It came to me while we were on the show to talk about the fact of him accepting XRP out of all things for his campaign. So I know Edo is working on setting that up, and I want to be one of the first people to donate to that, as I've been reached out by many others like Anthony Wanner and others who want to be a part of that as well. Liz, what's up, sis? Anthony Wanner's in the house. Big watch dude, Wayside Soldier. We got the one and only Gmail Brown, first on the scene. Appreciate you, my brother. So a lot of talks right there on that space with in regards to Steven Nareruff. A lot of people were talking about that. I was trying to find the live. Here it is right here, guys. It was myself, Edo, and Dr. Shiva, a U.S. presidential candidate. Extraordinary mind. And Anthony Wanner, man, shouts out to you, brother, for... Anthony Wanner was trying to get me to get him on, and sometimes things don't happen when you want them to happen. They happen when they're supposed to happen. So it just so happens that Edo Farina was also a big fan of his, like Anthony Wanner, and he's been following him since like 2018, 17 or something like that. And so he was able to get him on. He's also talking about getting Robert Kiyosaki on and many other people onto our Twitter spaces. Now we have people that are trying to connect with us. So that was just huge, guys, and I'm really excited about the things that we're doing together as a team. Edo reached out to me and was just so excited and appreciative for what we're doing together. So as am I, just an extraordinary guy. Guys, you guys get a chance, make sure you go over and follow Edo Farina, King Duggo. Also follow Dr. Shiva, Incredible Mindset. Anthony Randall, you were spot on with that, my brother. And then this right here is Jack the Rippler, also talking about, it was like a Ripple party, so forth. I think I was on that one as well. And then there's this other one here that we did the interview with Dr. Shiva. So guys, check all that stuff out. Be supportive. Show your love. Show love for the family, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, retweet all that stuff on our space. Also like and subscribe here, guys. We appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here today. And so we're going to get right into it. Also, let me always remind you guys, nothing that we talk about should ever be considered or deemed financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. My name is James, aka Six8Jay. I'm just documenting my journey in the evolution of money. You know, I say this to say that, guys. I say that to say this, should I say. Things don't always happen as you maybe expect. Sometimes, you know, people try to push or buy their way to certain things. I let some people influence me early on about, oh, James, you can get this and you can get that. And I was like, okay, well, do what you're going to do. And then I started seeing like crappy people come into our Telegram and bots and all that stuff. And I was leaving it up to other people because honestly, I really didn't know a whole lot about YouTube or Twitter. And so I put my, faith in other people kind of directing us in that direction. And I started seeing people come in, but it was crap and scam, and it didn't work out. And I was like, I'm never doing that again. And then the people will go this route, and guys are like, look, man, we're just going to go organic. I'll put myself out there when I need to. We'll get there when we're supposed to, and we'll just do it that way. And so I appreciate all you guys who stuck it out, stuck around, been loyal family members and friends. I consider all you guys friends, and thank you so much. So let's get right into it. What are we going to be talking about? Before we get into that, guys, let's take a look at the markets. Right now, we're at a $1.4 trillion market cap. It looks like we're still in a little bit of a downtrend, guys. Is it horrific? No, but it is a bit of a down. And one of the things that we were talking about on the X space is, where do we see things going in the short term and where do we see things going in the long term? And obviously, we're all very optimistic and very our belief system is through the roof on where, this space will be in 2025 going into 2030. But in the short term, there are some things that have to be addressed. There are some things that we have to be concerned about. And those things, I believe, will push us into a further decline and not only a decline, possible recession, possible black swan event. There's so many possibilities. Even though there's a lot of positive things that are there, it's not about that. You should never predicate or try to determine where you're at based off of the now. You should be investing. Again, this is not financial advice, just me. The way I look at things is I invest predicated off of long term, where I see things are going. It's like, do you imagine Tesla in the beginning or Amazon or Google or Uber or Airbnb or Apple, whatever the case may be, and your mindset was when they first started out, he was in a garage, let's say Apple, and he was trying to get people to donate or not donate, but to invest in a platform, and all you were doing was trying to say, man, I just needed to get to $1. Just get to $1 so I can get out. Just $10 so I can get out. And you missed the whole point. You didn't believe in the innovation. You didn't see the technology. You didn't see where they were going. You didn't understand Steve Jobs' vision and those around him. And you missed the boat. I mean, you missed out on the massive games of Tesla to say, well, let me just get Tesla to $10, and you just don't see it. Or Bitcoin when it was a penny, or when it was 30 cents, or when Da Vinci J was yelling out, just $1, one freaking dollar. Just get one. And you look at it at 68,000, all you do is sit back there and go, oh my gosh, I wish I could have, should have. Or maybe you weren't even blessed or fortunate enough to be a part of that equation at that time. But then you look at something like XRP, which has way more utility, way more use case. They're just the solution that they solve is so great. It's so phenomenal. XDC, XLM, Algo, HBAR. There's so many incredible projects out there. And if I don't name it, doesn't mean I don't have it. I don't believe in it. What I'm saying is vision, belief, understanding, control your emotions, have a plan, be a great student. The question that I have for everyone that's tuning in is, what is your freedom worth? What is the freedom to enjoy your life and enjoy every moment without slaving away for somebody else? What is that worth? What price tag would you pay? What is that? What is the value of that, guys? And if it's invaluable, then why are you treating it like some get rich quick thing? Why are you allowing? And I'm not talking about anyone here, but I'm talking about anybody that's tuning in. Why are you allowing the things that put you in the position you're in now to control a life-changing opportunity? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to belittle anyone. I'm just saying, if I was to go back and talk to a younger me, and I lost both my parents God bless him and God rest her soul. If I was to sit down and I can go back in time, they had a show that was called Quantum Leap, right? Quantum Leap. I don't know if you guys remember that guy could travel back in time and future and time and all that kind of stuff. Or Back to the Future. Everyone knows that one, right? Back to the Future. And I could jump in the DeLorean and go back in time. You know where I would go? People, I would go back to, when gold was this, and I would go back to when crypto was that, and I would sit down and figure out who's Satoshi, and I would invest everything I got, and that's what people would do. I would go back and, before, all this stuff. You know what I would do, guys? And I know it sounds weird. And I'm not saying I wouldn't want to do some of those things where I'd be facetious and ignorant to say otherwise. But one of the things that I would want to do, one of the first places I would want to go assist is this. I want to go back in time and sit down with my mother, sit down with my father, and talk about their mindsets, and talk about why we're in the position that we're in. And there's so many things I would ask my dad, I won't even get to that part, but just, Mom, why were we on welfare? Why are we struggling? And I know it was because my dad left early. I know it was because you had to raise 4 kids, but where was your mindset? Where was your belief? Who was in your circle? And I say that in all due respect because my mom was amazing. She's my hero, not LeBron or Jordan or this and that. My hero is my mother. Watching her work multiple jobs, watching her hands wrinkle from coming home and doing the dishes, and it inspired me. At 13 years old, I got a job and I went knocking door to door for this little junior careers company that. It just so happens that the lady who owned that company is John Singh's mother. And who is John Singh? Well, if you go to my, I'm just telling you how amazing life is and how when you're sincere and you're humble and you're authentic, how all the people that were a part of your journey, the right ones, the real ones, are still there. And when I look back at my journey and I can go back to I probably can't go all the way back. It'd be too far to kind of go back. But this gentleman here, where's he? I did an interview with him. He was one of my interviews over here, and I don't think we shared it here, but his name is John Singh. And his mom was my first job. I know he's on this one here, and it's probably way down, but he was like one of my first interviews, guys. I mean, way down there. I can't even imagine where it's at. It's probably so far down. I don't want to freeze my channel trying to figure it out. But his mother was my first job at 13 years old. And we're still friends, the best friend. We own property together. Isn't that crazy? We own 10. He owns 5 acres, and I own 5 acres right next to each other in Vegas. I helped change his life with crypto. It's funny how things come back and it comes back around. But my little brother, like family to me, my god brother, his mom was like a god mom to him. But she was my first job when I was trying to help my mom pay rent and bills when my dad left. I had to step up as a 13-year-old and become a man of the house, if whatever that means. I say that just to say that if I could go back in time, it would be to go back and not only question my mom, but help her with her mindset and let her know, Mom, it's going to be okay, and just the things that I know today. And I say that to say that that's the opportunity that we have. Just and I don't want to use a bad word, but just screw your circumstance. Screw where you're at. Who gives a... Like I was kind of just talking to my wife about that just a while ago. I'm so appreciative for the things that we have that I don't worry about the things that we don't, or the obstacles that get in the way. When a lot of times you're in a position that we're in, and shouts out to my beautiful Queen Jeanette's in the house. See, Kez, what's up, my brother? You get, and my wife has watched this, and we've had some very heartfelt talks about this, and I want to talk about that now before we get into the topic of bear markets, and I haven't even covered the doggone markets yet, so I'm running off at the mouth. But here's what I'll tell you guys. Crypto is where it's at. A lot of these prices are pretty much where they're at. 26,198 for Bitcoin, Ethereum under 16, XRP 50 cents, and so on. And just if you go back yesterday and the day before, it's almost pretty much the same, right? So I'm not going to go through the markets. Everyone should know how to do their due diligence. I like doing it a lot of times when I start the stream, but it's pretty much the same thing. So I'm not going to get into that. Let me just stay with the story. It's funny because I know my wife and I, we've talked about a lot of the things that I've accomplished, a lot of the position that we're in, a lot of things that we've done, and I know there's been times when my wife and I have hugged each other, and I've seen her tear up and look at me, and she said, I just feel sorry for you sometimes. And I remember her saying that, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying it. She goes, because I see how people treat you. I see how people hate on you. And I know, this is, she's seen it throughout our marriage, and it's unwarranted. It's nothing I've ever done but try to help and lift people up. And sometimes when you get in a position and that's why I can't make excuses for Ben Armstrong, I don't know what he's gone through. I don't know what happened with the whole BitBoy thing. A lot of you guys probably saw the video, and I was going to talk about it a little bit here last night, where he was at this guy Carlos's house trying to get his Lamborghini back, and I think he kind of realized that some people took advantage of him, and that resulted in the police questioning him. We'll talk about that in a second. I don't want to get into that just right yet, but I've gone through stuff like that. Not in a sense where me and my wife have gone through what he's gone through, but in a sense that people have hated on me. People, that I've tried to lift up, they'll see that, like when we came out with the trademark iWatch. A lot of people don't know that story. I've talked about that story 1,000 times. iWatch. If you look up Apple's watch, it's called Apple Watch. But here in the United States, you just go over here. I'll do it with you so you understand. And I'm not trying to impress you or anything, but we'll put iWatch. What is that? And I'm just trying to make a point here. iWatch trademark. Trademark USA. And if you Google that, let's see, it's old news. I mean, you're talking about 2008 or something like that. It was way, way back in the day, but not right now. Let me do this. iWatch trademark USA, and let me just put the word OMG. I know that's gonna pull it up. So look, this is back. Okay, I don't know why this is back in 20. This should be way older than this, but if you go back to here's 2015, this is 20. What is this is 5th. This is 7. This is 8 years ago, and it goes back further than that. But let's say it says why the Apple Watch isn't called the iWatch, and you open this up, it talks about how in certain countries, and there's in all these New York Times, Washington Post. This is all about the iWatch, and this is also about me, because here in the United States it talks about. If not for a failed company called OMG Electronics, you might be preparing. So it's not a failed company. I know, but OMG, that's me. OMG, if it wasn't for this company, OMG Electronics, the Apple Watch might be called iWatch, and that's me. That's my company. Fresno, California, that's my company. That was my corporation. And all this stuff. You look at the campaign, all this. This is me. And how can I prove it's me? If I click this campaign that we launched way back in the day, you can see this commercial. If I play this commercial. This is me. I'll play it just to entertain you guys. I'll play it just to entertain you. Well, this is Fresno. This is how many years ago was this? Good Lord. This is many years ago. And there's a reason.
Would you have ever imagined that the power and fun of a smartphone could now be on your wrist? I'm Mike, and this is the iWatch. It's an amazing blend of form and function. You may be asking, are these guys serious? Yes, we are. We're so serious that we finalized the design and secured the trademark. And the iWatch is absolutely real. Now we need your help to move to production. The iWatch is a standalone device. You can make and receive calls, send and receive text and picture messages.
I'm trying to make a point here, guys, so just pay attention. This is actually my commercial.
You can even listen to music via Bluetooth, check your voicemail, and much, much more. The iWatch is truly unique. The iWatch features micro SD and SIM card slots. These can already store up to 32 gigabytes, so storage is not an issue. It also has
This was our prototype, so we actually had this created for us.
a micro USB port for charging and file transfers. Bluetooth 3.0 for easy connectivity.
By the way, guys, this is way before there was Apple Watches, Samsung. Smartwatches in the U.S. did not exist when we started this journey. Ask my wife. It did not exist. Me, her, and Dr. It's a long story. I'm not here for that. I'm here to make a point.
An ultra-responsive LCD touchscreen, an HD camera for video and photos, plus the iWatch can be tethered to your smartphone, if you'd like. Sounds incredible, right? But the iWatch doesn't stop there. You can check email and social media and read ebooks.
Okay,
right?
so I'll stop right there. See that picture right there of that guy and that lady? That's me and Jeanette. That's me and my wife. We put ourselves out with my Facebook at the time. So that's James and that's Jeanette. And I actually have my son on this watch as well.
Now there are hundreds of free apps in the Java market that the iWatch can run. And for all you developers out there, this is your opportunity to be a part of early app development for this new and innovative platform.
Stick with me. I got a point. There's a point here.
This amazing device is here and just about ready to go with a little help from you. Imagine yourself discreetly checking.
That's my buddy AJ. These are guys at the company that we was working with that developed the technology for what we were doing.
Making a text in a meeting, or how about web chatting from anywhere, or watching a movie and listening to music.
The only reason that movie exists is because I programmed that watch to do that.
With the push of a button. You can even share with your Facebook friends and tweet in real time. Plus, Answering a call is easier than ever. Our team has been working long and
Okay, I'm going to stop right there, and this is where I'm going to end it. That right there is my oldest son, who's now 29. That's Jalen. That's my oldest son right here. So I put him in that commercial. I wanted him to have a little moment. So that's my son. I love him to death. He was in high school at the time, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Right, honey? He was in high school. So that's part of my journey. That's part of my story. Now, I say that because if I told you, oh, I watch and this, we were, and again, I had NDAs. I couldn't talk about nothing. Even when I launched that campaign, I had to take everything off. I had to take off the Indiegogo deal. I had to take it all down. And again, if you go back, all these articles by the Washington Post, the New York Times, they were trying so hard to come interview me. This is 2013. Again, that's 10 years. So that kind of goes now. It takes you even further back. We started this whole thing prior to that, before that, way before that. So just kind of, and it's so much information, and it's really irrelevant because that was a moment in our life where our attorney was telling us, you remember this, honey, and I'm trying to make a point. We were out shopping for multi-million-dollar houses. We were going to get, paid off by Apple. We were in communication with their attorneys. It was just this big old thing. Now, I'll say that to say this, guys. Sometimes you don't recognize opportunities. You don't recognize, oh my gosh. Oh, I didn't expect this. Hey, brother, I'm live. I'm going to call you. Can I call you back?
Of course.
Okay. So that was actually John Singh, the guy whose mother gave me my first job at 13 years old, which I've interviewed before on my show. So anyways, there's a couple things we talked about on Twitter Space, and that was about be careful who you follow, be careful who you listen to. And I've talked to you guys about this so many times. The things that I talk about, and my wife can tell you this, and I got on this point about hating. That's where I was going with that. So during the time that I did that, I started trying to bring people around me to help be a part of this. And also, we're trying to get funding and all those different things. And do you know that some of the people that you would have never thought that I brought around, some power, influential people, I had NFL players, I had all kinds, my wife can tell you, we had this whole thing that we're going to do. And then I stopped because we went into negotiation with Apple, my attorney did. And they told us, my attorney, oh, you got this, and oh man, your life is going to be forever changed, all this stuff, right? And then obviously is another story. Maybe one day I'll go into that, how every different countries had the iWatch and different. So China was being greedy, and there's a company out in Europe that was being very greedy, and they almost 60 million, 30 million, 100 million, and it kind of killed the deal, which is what made Apple force from the fact that we got in an email. I've got the doggone email now. I got the offer, so we were. Hey, my attorney said, hey, go out there and start looking for houses. We were set. We were waiting for the damn check. In other countries who had the trademark, because whenever someone buys a trademark, they can't just get it in the U.S. because then that means it's only going to be an iWatch in the U.S. No, it's got to be global. So I won't get too much. There's a big part of the story, but there's a couple countries that were being very, very greedy. Let's just say that. And it made Apple go in a different direction because of their greed. So they didn't get anything. Neither did I because of their greed. The point I'm trying to make is this, guys. During that process and doing many of the processes that I've gone through in my life, even when I was a speaker, my wife, I remember, I accomplished so many amazing things in my life just because I never doubted myself, and I would always ask the question, why? Why couldn't I do that? Why couldn't I do this? And I was just always fascinated about technology. Early, way before this even came out, I was a big tech guy. I was always into programming phones, and I did all this stuff, right? So it all kind of worked out, but during that process, guys, and many other processes like it, you get hated on. And I had people who, sometimes people don't want to be a part of what you do. They want to take over what you do. They want to take it away from you. They want a bigger cut or a bigger percentage. I'm like, wait a minute, dude. Like, I brought you into this thing. I gave you, something so that you could feel special, because I was always a giver. And my wife would always tell me that's one of your biggest downfalls is that, you give and you give and you give and you try to help and you give and you try to help. And I've seen that play out with so many people. That's why when I have these controversies that I've had, even on this platform, things that we've had controversies like, and I'll say it even with like Six8Jay and stuff like that, and not to say anything mean, but just any conflict that I've had, it always came from a place I felt of jealousy. Not because of I'm bigger than this person, I'm bigger than that platform. No, nothing, that because of who I was and who I am. And it's been happening so much throughout my life, so much that my wife always just goes back. Even with that particular situation, she said, honey, I just feel so sorry, because every time you try to help from an organic, loving place, people always try to screw you. Every time. Even when I was a part of that situation where I was just giving and giving and giving, like there was some agenda. I didn't need nothing from that situation. We had made everything that we've accomplished in crypto did not come from that situation. did not come. I was just a part of that. I was a part of the, the IBF family. And it's not, again, nothing negative. I'm just on this show. If you guys don't, and you have somebody, oh, guess what he said? I could give a damn left, dude. I'm too grown for that. God, I feel like I got an eyelash in my damn eye. Got an eyelash in my damn eye. Oh God, I think I do got an eyelash in my eye. Shoot. Okay, one of the downfalls of having long eyelashes, I guess. I think I got one in my eye for sure. Okay, the point I'm trying to make, guys, is, and I keep it 100 here. I just don't know how to bullshit. Tails knows I don't know how to sugarcoat. One of the worst games I'm at is called Texas Hold'em or poker, because I don't know how to bluff. I don't even want to know how to bluff, but it just scares the hell out of me to try to bluff. If I got something, my eyebrows, I probably got an eyebrow start shaking, my lip starts twitching. They probably can read my butt real. Oh, this fool got something. Fold, because I'm not good at lying and scamming and freaking bluffing. I just can't do it. And so when I go into things, I try to go into things with the mindset and the heart that I want to help the situation, that I want to bless that narrative. And since we all know, we all came from that situation, and I still go in there and I support my man, because, here's the thing, that I don't try to crap on people. I just realize that not everybody's on everyone else's level. Even though somebody might try to be on someone else's level, they're not, and it's hard for me sometimes to argue and get into it with people who just are not on my level. And I say that humbly. I say that very humbly. And the point I was trying to make with all this is, a lot of times I find people hate on me, and I'm just like, what the hell is that, dude? You know how much I've done, and I give, and I give, and I give, and I give, and I gave people percentages of that company that would have been millionaires if they just would have played their role. But when people saw the Apple deal coming, guess what they did? Guess what they did? Crypto Tales, Gmail Brown, Liz, Anthony. Guess what they did? CK, they got greedy. They wanted more. Beekeeper 69. They wanted more. I even had people go out and get attorneys on me, like, oh my God, I was there. And I'm like, you were there because I let you be there. It's just, dude, I'm just telling you. So I'm just telling you guys that haters, it has happened so many times where I've gotten on stage and I got recognized and I got the ring, $100,000, all this different stuff. And people would just hate on me for no reason. It's been that way my whole life. And I say that to make this point. And that's not to impress you or press upon you, just to kind of relate to you what to expect. And the older I've gotten, the more that I realize is sometimes, it's funny because sometimes, we're programmed, we're taught to be givers and to do and to do and to do and to help and to help. And, it always comes back to the four types of people that I learned. And I took courses on this in my leadership days of how to recognize people in the first 5 minutes of talking to them, first few minutes of talking to them. And we talk about the urchin, the dolphin, the whale, and the shark. And this is, for anybody who's been in leadership or business, you've heard of these different things. A shark is a person who's a go-getter, and and I don't want to get too far. I feel like I'm getting way off right now. The go-getter and motivated and to just drive. The good part about the shark is they're driven. The bad part about the shark, sometimes they can run over people just to get what they want. A dolphin is a person who likes to have fun. They're fun to be around. They're amazing, energetic people. But sometimes that's the positive part. But the downfall of a dolphin is sometimes they don't know when to be serious and have fun. They don't know how to distinguish between the two. And a lot of times they find themselves in a position of not having success. Have you ever had a coworker who's hella fun, who's they're just what's the word I'm looking for? They're complacent. They're just fun. But like, look, man, I'm driven by more than that. So, and then you have the urchin. And the urchin is a person who likes information. Documentation beats conversation. They always do their due diligence. They will always find the right answer. And that's the great part about an urchin. I got a lot of friends who I love the fact that they're urchins. The bad part about an urchin, it doesn't mean that you have to be either or. You can be good, you can be bad. Just the bad or a bad part of an urchin, or bad urchins can be a person who they get so much information they never act on anything, right? It's almost like analysis paralysis. They get so much information, but they never act. And so sometimes you'll find something, and I talked about this on the Twitter space. I had an uncle who was a genius, brilliant, always broke, never had money, never had anything. And so sometimes an urchin can think themselves right out of a great opportunity. And then you have someone who's a dolphin. A whale. I'd already talked about shark, dolphin, and urchin. The last one is a whale. And a whale is a person who has a big heart. They give, and they give. Teachers are whales, and preachers can be whales, and maybe a police officer can, somebody who's driven by helping others. And that's the greatest part about a whale. My mother was a huge whale, and I don't mean whale because sometimes you say, you're a whale. I'm like, oh, I'm not fat. What are you talking about? I'm not fat. The hell, you just call a woman a whale. So you got to be, oh God, that's funny. But a whale just means a giver. and a person who loves helping others. The downside of a whale is they typically let people take advantage of them. Their hearts are so big that people typically run over them. And a lot of times they try to talk to you about being a successful leader, being a successful speaker, which is one of the reasons I study that metaphor or that way of thinking or trying to understand people, and that is identifying those things within yourself. And so they have you take this test. And when I did the test, I was 75% shark. I was motivated, go get it. And I knew that because I was grinding since I was 13 years old. But it didn't mean I had to have the bad part of a shark. And sometimes just straight up great whites with nothing else, sometimes they can have the characteristics of both. They'll run over people to get what they want. But I was 75% shark. I was 15% whale. I was 5% dolphin and 5% urchin. And I can explain that to this extent. As I was looking at it, and then the instructor of that course was explaining. He says, if you're a majority shark, that means you're motivated like nobody else. You don't wait for people to tell you what to do, to come up with ideas. Typically, sharks with a greater percentage of 50%, typically big entrepreneurs, business owners, self-motivators, and typically have a tremendous amount of success. As long as they don't implement the things of hurting, running over people, because then it will come back to haunt them. The fact that I was 15% whale, I could identify with that because I got that from my mother, taking me when I was younger to, she would teach mentally handicapped, and at the time, you could say this word, it's like a bad word to say, but it was handicap and children with like disabilities, retardation, whatever. And the school was called Atticot in Fresno off of Chestnut and Dakota. Chestnut and Shields, I'm sorry. And I would work every summer with my mom, and it just was so humbling as a young man who was tall and had everything in the world, starting to look up. And I was poor, but it just made me appreciate everything that I had and everything that I didn't have, and how to distinguish between the two, to be appreciative for the things that I could change and understand the things that I couldn't. And I love my mom. She was my hero, right? I say all that to say that that's where the whale came from, and it just gave me a different purpose. And the older I got, the greater that purpose became, and it continues to become. Which is why before there was a YouTube or Twitter and all that, me and my wife were out there helping people, doing this. I've been serving people my whole life, so I don't got to prove that to anyone. I don't use this platform. What you see is what you get, right? And the urchin, I do like information. I do my due diligence, but just enough to make a decision to move forward, and just enough to make sure I'm making a valid decision without having analysis paralysis and outthinking myself out of that situation or narrative. And then a dolphin, I love having fun when the time warrants, right? I'll never put fun before progress. And so those are the four types of people. And so I say that because those are the things that I implemented in my life, and those are the things that help me read people. And that whale in me is 15%, even though it's not greater than the shark, it's still enough where I've allowed people to run over me. I've given people the benefit of the doubt. People have tried to take advantage of my kindness and the things that I've done. And I've seen that in business, and since I was young coming up, and all that. My wife has seen it to the point where it's put her into tears. And she looked at me and said, man, I feel bad for you sometimes. And we've had those moments. It's been family and friends, right? And it's going to continue to happen. I mean, can you imagine one day, CKez, JC, what's up, my brother JC, Gmail Brown, Anthony Wanner, all you guys are listening in. Can you imagine the day that you have your moment? Can you imagine the day that the people around you who didn't believe in you, the people who doubted you, the people who talked down on you, the people who told you that it wasn't going to work, look up and see that your zip code has changed, that your bank account has changed, that your the way you dress, the way you walk and talk has changed? It doesn't mean you can't be an amazing person, but trust me. If it's why everybody says, oh, he's a sellout. Oh, Jay-Z's a sellout. Well, you think Jay-Z is going to still be living in the same corner where he used to sell crack and all this kind of stuff? And I'm not shining light on the things that he did, but hey, him and Beyonce don't live in that hood no more. They're somewhere else. So when things change, you're going to change. The situation and the narrative in which you're in is going to change. And so the people around you will look at that, and instead of congratulating you, how can you expect them to congratulate when they were hating on you through the whole process? That XRP thing is dead. XLM is stupid. Shiba it's just some stupid dog. So was Doge. And so was, if that's the case, look at Bitcoin. Look at this. Look at that. And so I'm just telling you to anticipate, embrace, and understand that you're going to have haters. I don't give a crap. It'll be the closest people to you, man. I'm telling you, some of the most vicious thing I've ever endured came from the people who's closest to me. And so I say all that, guys, just to let you guys know, let me borrow 100K, JC. You crazy? Oh, my brother, my man, positive. Trust me, JC. Hey, you one of the brothers that I'm gonna be definitely looking out for when my time comes. So, so yeah, guys. So that's where we're at. I kind of briefly went over the market. I wanted to share that because it's just something that meant the world to me. And that's why I was talking about the whole iWatch thing and what I've dealt with. I've done so many, and it's bigger than that. We've done movie things. We've owned our own music studio where I would try to help. We had one of the nicest studios, recording and labels and everything. We went out on tour with our artists, and then you would have rappers that would break in our studio still. I mean, just there's always something. There's always a hater. There's always something. And me and my wife have had a it's just crazy. Even since before I got with her, but just in the time that she's been with me 15 years, she's seen it. And you can only imagine what I've seen myself. So guys, prepare for that. Just like Crypto Tales. I mean, man, first of all, I'm going to be a part of the journey with the brother, but can you imagine him getting to a certain level because of crypto and he uses that platform? You know how many haters he's going to get? Oh, it's going to be so much greater than the people that are congratulating, because that's just how people are. And when you can embrace that, just like he said, let them haters do their job. Because it's something also I learned, one of the things that doesn't that keeps me from really worrying about that is that you need haters. Haters, when you have haters, that means it's just validated that you're doing something amazing in your life. And that's how I look at it. I had to turn it to that narrative, because it's like, if you don't got a hater, then there's something, because people don't want to be like you or hate on you when you ain't got nothing to hate on and be like. So I'm just saying, oh my goodness, it's just funny. Let me move on, guys. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that moment. It took up 40-something minutes. And again, nothing I talk about with the past that I've done. I could tell you guys some things that would shock you, and it's just, the closer I get maybe to certain people, I might tell, but it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant because it's just part of my story. But when I sit on YouTube, when I sit on Twitter Space and I'm talking and I'm helping people, it's coming from a place from all that stuff. It's coming from all that authentic stuff. Not I'm here for this and clicks and I'm trying to be the big bag wolf, but most of my life I didn't do anything, but all of a sudden I'm a master thing. And it's like, look, man, I just keep it 100. I talk from a very authentic and loving place. And I look at everybody as family. So if I refer to you as a sis or a bro, that just means there's love for you. I appreciate you, as do my wife, and we'll just go. Yeah, haters are validated. For real. Tell my boy about to come up with a song with that. You already know, guys. Let's talk about the bear market. So one of the things that we talked about with Edo Farina on the space was. One of the questions he asked me today, and if you guys haven't had a chance, make sure you check it out. It's all right here. It was an incredible, it says an hour and 44 minutes. It was an incredible space. And if you guys didn't catch that, go back again and catch yesterday with Dr. Shiva, U.S. presidential candidate Dr. Shiva, who was on live with me and Edo Farina. It was phenomenal. Not only did we have it on Twitter Space, but I also posted it, and you can see the thumbnail and all that stuff is on here, right? I think it's right. It's right here. Dr. Shiva, right here. It was an amazing interview, guys. So I hope you guys check it out. One of the things that Ed was talking about, he said, James, where do you see us going in the short term and the long term? And I want to talk about that a little bit, which is the bear market and where we're at. And I think things are going to continue to get bad, guys. Make sure you hit the like. Best family around. Smash the like and subscribe. Thank you so much, CK. You the man, pots and pans. Much love to you and all those that support the channel. And the way that you do that, guys, I see when I'm done with this, I don't know what you guys go back to do, but I go back on my couch. I pet my dogs. I love my dogs. I'll turn on TV because, again, this is what I do. I don't have any other job. I don't do anything else. And I'll sit back on my phone and I go back and I start trying to figure out who appreciated what I've done, who appreciated my time, the content. I go back to YouTube. I go back to Twitter. I look at everything that I personally post, not retweet, but just personally post, and it allows me to understand the genuine love that I have between you and I. And it just means the world to me. I know some people might not go, oh, I'm just trying to get more clip, but it means the world to me. So thank you guys who are supportive, who are always around and who will always support it. I won't forget you. But I do think there's a narrative playing out right now. I think there's a lot of positive sentiment right now with, Bitcoin ETFs can come. We got the halving coming up in 200 and some odd days, just over 200 days. We've got, Ethereum ETFs. We've got the possible settlement with Ripple. We've got the Coinbase victory. We've got the IPO for Ripple. You got so many things that are playing. Now you've even got Library, who the SEC drugged through the mud, put them out of business, and charged them a fine. They're coming back and said, we're coming back. Actually, now they just filed something else against the SEC. So there's a lot of things I think that are and good Lord, how can I forget this? Stephen Narif and the fact that he was in the beginning. And if you guys didn't get a chance, there was a who shared that with me? I want to say that it was what was it, brothers? Gosh, it's on my thing here. I want to say it was this gentleman right here, Carmichael, got with me today, and he said, "Yo, Jay," and he sent this to me. Much love to Carmichael. He said this. It was the allegations with John Deet and those guys. Shouts out to Carmichael. He sent this, and this is definitely something you want to listen to, guys, because it's 108,000 people tuned in, so I think it's worth listening to. But John Deaton was talking about this guy Stephen Aroth, and there's guys who actually knew him way back. There's two people that knew him and been to his house, and they're like, "Dude, look, dude, this guy's a real deal. This is what he's got. This is what's going on. There's so much controversy," and it was really refreshing to hear who this guy is and them validating a lot of stuff that this guy has gone through, so that's really big, guys. Whether you know it or not, that's really big for crypto. That's because even though it's negative towards Ethereum and the ETHgate scenario, and look, guys, I don't know what it's going to spell out. I don't know if Ethereum's too big to take down. I think they've built this monster. They built this thing, and I don't want to call it Ethereum because I know there's a lot of great projects on Ethereum. So I don't want to talk about. I just think a lot of what they did and the people who are behind it manipulated the system, took advantage of the system, and did a lot of things that really sounds like it puts Ethereum in a securities top position. He's got recordings, he's got documentation, he can identify the sky's whales. There's a lot of stuff that he has, and I think that negativity that I shouldn't say negativity, the things that he has that probably don't look so great for Ethereum are actually very positive for the ecosystem as a whole. Specifically, a lot of these good actors like Ripple that are in lawsuits and Coinbase. And I'm not saying it's going to help people like Binance and stuff like that, because if you've done something wrong, you've done something wrong. And I'm not saying they haven't, but I think and so that then makes me go into the negative part. There's so much negative and so much corruption and so much manipulation and so much fraud, and there was such a gray area that a lot of bad actors like Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, Celsius, Luna, and what's going on right now, some of the allegations with Binance. And look, guys, when you're in a position where your CEO, I guess it's Binance USA, the CEO flees and your legal team starts dispersing and leaving, and prominent people start leaving, dude, look, there's a reason for that. It's kind of like, look, in a shuts out, I used to be part of Hotbed and KuCoin. I use a lot of these platforms, and for them to flee before the SEC goes after them doesn't mean they're not going to go after them. It means they fled because they knew. A lot of times when you're guilty of something, you'll flee before something happens. And I'm not saying they are guilty, I'm just saying that there's so much manipulation and corruption that regulatory clarity is needed. It's still needed. We still don't have it. We're still fighting for it. But regulatory enforcement is not what we need. And kind of like Stephen Narrow says, we were set to believe that Operation Choke Point 2.0 was to destroy crypto. And after listening to Stephen Narrow and some of the things that he's talked about, he goes, it's not to destroy crypto. He goes, crypto is the prize. And that's what people don't realize. And that makes it even more screwed up, because if you're just a bunch of old school, they're just old and they're just 60, 70 years. Look, a lot of these politicians, especially here in our good old USA, and I might get banned for saying this, these guys got salaries that, and I agree with you, Nesforth, this channel should be a lot bigger, but look, man, things will happen as they should, brother. I appreciate you saying that. You're amazing, brother. Thank you so much, man. You're a gem as well, brother. Thank you. And I just think it's going to happen in time, right? And I always keep letting myself just be who I am and staying true to that. And I just feel like, the world will recognize the talent of what we have and who we are as a family when the time is right. So let me say that. Because I could throw a whole lot of money at this and be, one of the biggest in so many months. But it just, I'm not going to do that. So getting back to what I was saying, thank you so much, my brother. That means the world to me. I think there's a lot of things that are going to be coming out, and I think those things that are going to come out, even though they're good, I think it may affect and even hurt the market. Not only in the crypto space of what ETHgate can represent, or if they do go after Tether, or if Binance does go down and they have done some things, or they go out, because what did Gary, and I was talking about this on Twitter Space, Gary Gensler always has a way. They always have a way of every time we have a moment, you guys realize every time we have a damn moment, a freaking life-changing, exciting moment, that administration, the Biden administration, the Elizabeth Warren, whatever you want to call it, the Gary Gensler, they always try to take our moments away. And when the him emails were said to come out June 13th, what did they do? I'm going to sue Coinbase. I'm going to sue Binance. All this and everything's a security. He's do all these coins out as being a security. Just totally distracted and got away. And he did that about a week, 8 days before him and emails were released, just to shed so much FUD and crap that we couldn't. He tried to take that moment from us. And then when Ripple's legendary day came on July 13th, 2023 with Elizabeth Warren, with Judge Annalisa Torres rendering that XRP is not a security. And as a matter of fact, they're the only digital asset with legal clarity. He tried to rob us from that moment by immediately coming, it's a partial win. And all these media people, it's not that big of a deal. It's not, and they're going to appeal it anyway. And all that, just trying to take our shine away. And then all of a sudden, you get all this positive news about Coinbase and the amicus briefs and people Stephen Arrows comes out and people are like, oh my God, we're going to go into a settlement. All this stuff comes up. And then what does he do last week? What did they do last week? Oh, we're just getting started. There's a whole lot of exchanges are going to be going down. And now you just got so much fear that you pump. Every time we have our moment, they pump bullshit and fear right back into the market. And that's where we're at, guys. So our problem right now is we can't just go. Here's the problem, Crypto Tail. We can't just go off of TA. See, TA, people don't realize what TA is predicated off of the human psyche. That's why you have the fear and greed index. That's why you have the fear and greed index. Where are people emotions? Where are people buying and dumping and all that? That's part of TA. That's part of technical analysis, right? If you don't know that, then you study. It's part of that. Market analysis, fundamental analysis is all part of the human emotion. Even with stocks, right? No difference. And they know this, and that's why they continuously pump in fear and FUD and crap into the market. Every time we look left, every time we look right at something victory, they try to bring up something negative so we can look left. And I say that to say, guys, that's why we can't even depend on cycles and, the halving's coming, because they know, look, everything we know, they know. They know that the halving is major. They know that we're due for a massive bull run. They know that the TA is saying this, that Ripple is due to hit all-time highs, that this coin was created to be a $10,000 asset, and the Bilal Group said it's going to be $25,000 to $35,000 by 2030, and all this stuff. They realize that. They realize the potential of XRP, XDC, XLM, and all these other platforms. They realized this back when they sued Ripple. They knew that. They tested it. They understood it. And it scared the crap. You want to know why? Because all these little cronies, all their little fluff boys, they can go out there and create criminal acts, and we're not going to hand over all of our things, and we didn't show all of our profit margins, and we just got, we robbed the market for hundreds of millions. And what did Gary Gensler go say? Who was it with that he used to work with? He said, we fined them $6 million. We took action. That's toilet paper to those dudes. You let them rob hundreds of millions and manipulate the market, and you fine them $6 million. That's nothing. But these are the same people that, and this is what Stephen Narrow information is going to expose, in my opinion. These same people who went to the SEC, went to the government, and trust me, these guys are. How do you think these politicians are making $100-something thousand a year, $200-something thousand a year, but they're worth $290 million? $290 million off a $200,000 a year sub? That don't even add up. $290 million, $100-something million. Pelosi, Warren, and even good old Gary Gensler, the clown Gary Gensler, tens of millions of dollars. Where did he get that from? Oh, investments? Where those leads come from? What kind of is it? Didn't you put Martha Stewart away for the same damn thing? Hold on. I got to calm down, guys, because sometimes I get it myself and I tell the truth. And the only way I can calm myself down is my brother Crypto Tells. Let him know how we feel. Woo!
Hey, look, 4 years and it's still no cheers. If fear selling and I'm still all in. What do you do when your freedom is an illusion? How high will it go when the XRP get the moon in? It's amusing when you know that you ain't losing. Going back to go back, got them choosing. Which one? XLM? Bag it up. This one? Stack it up.
Ooh, did you hear that? XRP? XLM? XDC? Okay, guys, let's get right to it. Good Lord. Oh, my gosh. So the problem with where we're at, and when I'm trying to answer that question, where are we going to go in the short term? Well, it's really wherever they allow us to go, because they're really flooding the market so much, and everything is going. And really, we're paying for America's sins, guys. That's why I don't know where we're going in the short term, because we're paying for the money printing, the manipulation, the corruption. What are they talking about now? I was getting ready to. They're talking about a government shutdown. And I was looking at this video. It's like, probably on my Twitter. I'm sure I've got it on Twitter here. Where they were talking about, I think I put it on here. Let me see. Government shutdowns right here. U.S. government shutting down again, really? And then it shows all the times and how long that they were shut down. And there was even a video with, what's that one lady's name? I don't even want to spread light to who she is because she just gets on my freaking nerves, but I'm going to show the stupid video. She's part of the problem, not part of the narrative, right? It's under, if you go to, let me go to government government. Damn it. Government, oh shoot, look at me. Government shutdown, okay. Right here, hashtag. And I think it was Pelosi or somebody. I ran across her little interview, and she was talking about how this is going to right here. And I'd care less what she has, but I want you guys to hear this.
Republican Congress.
Wait, where's the thing at? Right here. It's only, what, 45 seconds.
The shutdown. And now he's encouraging this Republican Congress to shut down government. It costs the economies tens of billions of dollars.
Yuck.
It says to our men and women in uniform who are in the military or in federal law enforcement, you're not going to get paid. It says to 7 million women and children in our country who depend on food assistance, you're not going to be eating. The list goes on in terms of what government does.
So the point I brought up with that, guys, is you know, this is the things that you can't just go, you can't be like a horse with blinders on. Oh, it's just crypto. What's going on in crypto? No, it's what's going on around the world. Housing, food, transportation, corrupt. I mean, all these things, guys, play a part. And if we have a government shutdown, guys, look, those are all the ingredients for a black swan event, for a catastrophic downfall. And it's depends on where your position and your mindset and your plan and your goals and your perspective and your emotions. It could be a blessing, right? That's when the rich get rich. That's when everybody else, like we were talking about on the exchange earlier, people who over leverage themselves. That's another thing, guys. You got to be really careful about not over leveraging yourself in this market where you put so much money in, but then you got to take this money out to pay this bill, or take that money out, and all of a sudden you miss the wave because you've put too much in when it was up, and now it's gone down, and now you're taking out. Could you imagine if you had, you know, $100,000 at one point at the height of 2021, it goes down, and maybe you've got 20 grand, and you got to take out 10,000 that to go spend on bills, or 5,000. You understand what you just gave up, and so that's why it's so important to have a plan and to invest accordingly, and not put yourself in a position where you got to put so much in and then take so much out and all those type of things. You just got to have a better strategy, in my opinion. But going back to my point, guys, you know, we have to be really careful because there's so many things that are playing out that hurt the market, that even though there's all these amazing things, and that's what pisses me off, because I feel like Gensler, Warren, and the government is stealing our moment. This, you know, they can't steal it forever, but they're definitely making it hard for people, and that's the point that we're trying to make, even with Dr. Shiva yesterday, who's running for who's a U.S. presidential candidate, is they utilize things like Celsius and Luna, and specifically FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried situation, where his parents are running around free, and I mean, like, oh, it just makes me nauseous to think that we're handling that the way we're handling it, and all these corrupted people and how rooted it goes into the corruption. You know, shouts out to Stanford, who said they're gonna give back all the millions that he gave to them. But there's so many people that's just trying to hold on to that money, knowing that there's other. Can you imagine someone stealing from you and giving it to some of these politicians, and they don't want to give it back? Take that and times it by 1,000. That's what we're dealing with, guys. Corruption at its highest level. And so when you're dealing with that, you got to understand that all those things are going to determine where we go into the short term. And they're really just robbing us from our moment. The moment that we should be shining. Every time, I don't want to keep getting into it, sound like a broken record, but this is a time where a lot of us, they're hurting the people. They use all those things, as I was saying before, to hurt the people, not to help them. Oh, this is going to help the people. They're helping themselves. Like Stephen Arrows says, it's not about destroying crypto. It's about positioning themselves and their family. So when the curtains go up and all of it and everything's made clear, man, do you realize no matter what screw Gary, he got fired. It don't matter if you're worth $100, $200 million. These guys have put themselves in positions. I'm telling you right now, guys, that, and we may not even hear it because they keep it quiet, to be billionaires. While we're trying to get millions, they're going to get billions. And that's what Operation Choke Point 2.0 is about. That's what all this stuff is going on is about. That's what this regulatory by enforcement is about. It's not about helping. It's not about what's right and wrong, because if that's the case, Coinbase wouldn't be in a damn lawsuit. Ripple wouldn't be in a damn lawsuit. library would have been put out of business, and they would have gone after these shiesty characters who they were sitting down having lunch and chilling with, that many of them got donations from. And that's the end of that story. So that's what you got to be looking at. So short term, I think we're screwed. I think there's a lot of, and it's like I talked about on the thing, just enjoy the crazy ride, man. I think in the short term, it's not going to be good, but in the long term, we will win. And what they're trying to do is, and this is the biggest part, is how many people will survive the storm. That's the problem. And how many people are going to get robbed out of their moment because of the, almost cursed, the jacked up storm that they've created. The manipulative, crooked, scandalous, huckster, frocksters, tricksters, FUD of a storm that they've created. That's the problem. And that, I think, is what's going to hurt a lot of people. That's it, in my opinion. Okay, so let's keep it going, guys. So in the short term, that's where I think we're at in this bear market. Will it last forever? But no. Part of this right here, this bloody bear is not a traditional bear market. This bear was created. This is a genetically altered bear by the SEC and the current administration. And that really sums it up. And that sums it up. That little thing that I just said right there. It's a genetically altered bear that was created by the SEC, Warren, and the Biden administration to hurt the people so that they can keep being prosperous and put themselves in great position. Not to hurt, not to kill. They don't. It's kind of like that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. Remember that movie? What was it called? Damn it, I can't remember what it's called. The bear just torn. It was hard to watch, even though it was a movie. The bear was just ripping them to pieces. What was that movie? Anybody know that movie where the bear tore his butt up? He was like a woodsman guy or something like that, and the bear just ripped his butt to pieces. What was that movie called? I think I brought it before. And that's what they don't want to kill the market. They don't want to kill the people. They want to hurt the people long enough, like the guy who set them up and went on to try to steal all the whatever it was. I can't remember the movie all the way, but just enough for them to get rich, guys. They don't want to kill us. They want to keep us down. They want to scar us for life. They don't want us to take part in just like that movie. What the hell was that damn movie? I forgot what it was. Huh? God, it's like on the tip of my tongue and I can't remember. Somebody's gonna say it. Huh? The Revenant. Yeah. That movie was. Do you know? Oh my goodness. Shouts out to that movie because there's not too many movies that you can watch and cringe. I guess scary, but that movie had me cringing. I was like, what? I was like, how did they made it look so real? I was like, ooh, I was sick to my stomach watching that movie. I was like, good Lord. And it reminds me of the genetically altered bear that the SEC has created. Oh my goodness. So guys, let's see what other things we can talk about here. So government shutdowns, guys, is coming. Shout out to the crypto digital asset. I like what he said here. He says, diversify to mitigate the risk. Diversify, and I think that's very, very smart. I talked about this on the space as well, guys, is reorganizing, restructuring your wallets. And here's something I really got to hit home with, guys. Be so careful, or be very careful, be very careful that you don't fall in love with projects. And look, I'm telling you, I've lost so much money behind projects that have so much potential. And again, some of them were 20%ers that are no longer here. We're in the top 100, top 50 coins, gone. Besides Luna, besides Celsius, besides FTX, that are gone. Projects that I've gone back 10%, I've tried to go back and withdraw my money, and they've left the exchange, or the exchanges got rid of them, and you're screwed. I'm talking about I got so much dead money sitting there. I'm just like, and it's not even close to the majority of what I have, but it's sickening because I think to myself, what about the people who have bigger positions in those projects? So I think you need to reassess your position and don't get caught up. And I said this before, with projects that's got 5 zeros, 8 zeros, or 6 zeros, looking for a home run, and instead realize how silly, how stupid. And look, guys, I say this with all love. How stupid will you feel if you're sitting around playing the get rich quick game and you look up and you see Ripple at $100? You see XDC at $50. You see XLM at $80. You see Ripple someday hit $500, $1,000, and you're trying to put your family's future. And look, guys, I'm not saying what's going to happen. I'm not saying that it's not financial advice. I can't tell you what's going to happen with these projects. No one can. I can tell you about the company. I can tell you about their character. I can tell you it's a first-class organization. I can tell you that 100% that the Apple, the Google, or the Amazon of the industry. I can tell you when everybody else is running and downsizing and firing people and panicking and leaving the USA, they're strong. They fought. They put up $100, $200 million. They ain't going anywhere, and their business has grown more so than the damn lawsuit than ever before. When everybody else is struggling, and they still have gotten robbed because of all the money and opportunity they had taken away from them because of the lawsuit. But they still, he said, man, we've grown leaps and bounds. I could tell you about the utility of XRP. I can tell you the purpose. I can tell you the use case. I can tell you the problem that it solved. I can tell you how everybody's adapting it. So adopting it around the world. I can tell you I can tell you so many things. And you got to go out there and tell yourself and learn those things and learn why it's such an incredible opportunity and invest whatever it is. Algo, HBAR, Matic, Dot, Polkadot, whatever it is, man. That's on you. It's not for me or anyone else on this platform. And if you're coming on YouTube or these platforms to get some type of, it's one thing to get a reference. I remember looking at Chico Crypto and he referenced over Polkadot when it was $300, and he was talking about how they were going to do a redenomination of 1 to 100. And at the time that coin was $300 and how people in China was going crazy and who Dr. Gavin was. So I just started Googling. I didn't look at Dot. I said, who's Dr. Gavin Wood? Who? Oh, he's a part of Ethereum. He was a guy who came up with, he was one of the main components. And he created Polkadot to be everything Ethereum's on. And I went through all that stuff. And I invested, predicated off my due diligence, off my research. I got it in a time where I was sitting there with another guy waiting. And as soon as it hit 1 to 100 and it went to $3, I went nuts. And it changed my life. And JC, you remember those days. And so I'm just telling you guys that it wasn't because it was 5 zeros and a 1. It was $3 freaking. It was $3. But I understood what was in front. It wasn't 50 cents like Ripple. It was 3. It wasn't 11 cents right now like XLM. It wasn't 5 cents like XDC. But I understood what I had. I understood what Dr. Gavin Wood stood for, his background, the things that he's done. I did my due diligence. I looked at the white paper, tokenomics, everything. And I made a decision, and I watched that damn thing go up to like $50. And I'm here to tell you guys that the opportunity isn't always in the get rich quick. It's about being a great student, about doing your research, guys, and putting yourself in position. And sometimes the thing that's right in front of you, you're always trying to look past the thing that's in front of you, trying to find that thing, the next Shiba, the next Doge, the next Pepe. I can't even put Pepe in the same class as Doge and Shiba. I'm sorry. You're trying to find that next thing, and you're going all in on one thing when you don't even got enough of the main thing. And all I'm telling you guys is be careful. Even here recently, I reorganized myself several times over the last year, over the last 6 months, over the last few months. And I put myself and my family in position to have the utmost success. And it's not just today. It was outside of crypto. It was when I was in the music industry or the movie industry or this industry or the basketball industry or the car light industry or the cell phone industry or the smartwatch industry, whatever it was. It's the same principle, guys. It's the same. What did Eminem say, JC? Put it out there and I read it. Shouts out to the family, guys. Let me go in here and appreciate you guys the way you deserve to get appreciated. JC, I love you, man. Much love to you, brother. What did Eminem say? Let me know and I'll say it. Oh, they want to kill us, in my opinion. Anthony Wayne, my man. Netsforce says, read the real story that the movie is based on. It's even crazier, in my opinion. You're talking about the Revenant? Is that what you're talking about, Anthony? Yeah, it must be that. I haven't read it, but I'm going to because you said it. That's crazy. If you got a link to that, make sure you DM that to me, Anthony Netsforce. What about the Truman Show? Yeah, that was a crazy one, JC. We can outlast them with great community health, 100%. We are billions. They are just a few thousand. You ain't lying, but the few thousand, man, they're corrupted as all hell. I agree with you, my brother. Shouts out to Netsforce for coming through that movie when I asked for that. That was awesome, brother. Wayside Soldier says, just taking it one day at a time, Father Allen, healing and staying healthy. My man, Pots and Pans, right here. Sis Liz always with the amazing support. She says, yes, I'm with you, my brother. I'm with you too, sis. Appreciate you. Very easy hydrophonic. Alan says, usually when the sentiment is really low, the opposite ends up happening. Be prepared for anything. Have a small sell bag ready to sell in case things pop up. I agree with you. And that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. And this is what I've seen since I've been in this space is a lot of time when we think things are going down, they go up, and when you think they're going up, they go down. When you think, oh my God, it's a recession, and part of what you're saying, I think, the reason that is true, very easy hydroponic sound, and it's a possibility because with all the negativities that's going on that I talked about, from economy to this to that to housing to this and that to monetary banking, the BRICS, the ISO 20, all of that, crypto is a solution, and so. A lot of times in the past, we've been affected because of the world and the thing, especially with COVID. Look how far it dropped down, or stocks move, we move. And I think there's a point where either crypto, I don't know if it'd be crypto as a whole or specific projects, or like, for example, Bitcoin ETFs can start separating Bitcoin a little bit from the stock market. I think a settlement and or IPO and or institutional adoption, because that's one of the key components. If you hear Shannon Thorpe talk about it, she goes, it's not retail that's going to make XRP go to those numbers. It's institutional adoption. Why do you think Brad Garlinghouse says flip the switch? Flip the switch. If you really break that down, like, flip the switch is our time. No, flip the switch, because that's how quick, how fast. You know how fast the light comes on? It's like, it's like dark light, dark light. It's going to be a flip of the switch moment. And how quick money will be inserted. It won't be like, oh my God, somebody bought, look at that wallet, somebody. It's going to be when institutions come in and they get that clarity and they adopt and embrace the technology as they should. As the solution for the biggest problem that we're dealing with around this world. When they do that, it's going to be a flip of the switch moment, and it will be, I think it's going to be astronomical how fast. Rosie Rios, 43rd Treasurer of the United States, on a $100 bill, signed $100 bill, says the train has left the station. I think there's already things being implemented. It's funny because one thing I learned about Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple, everything they do is very strategic. That's why I don't know what's going to happen on the 29th. It's 3 days away. The price hasn't pumped. I really, and we talked about this as well, I don't believe, and I could be wrong, but I don't believe that. Here's what I do know. Let me stop, because my mind goes all over the place, and that's just always been my thing. I get into this fight. That's why a lot of times I gotta. Oh God, when a lot of you guys are sleeping, I'm up just kind of processing and letting my mind come down, because I'm always going right. And I'm not lucky in all the things that I've done with this. The iWatch, this, and that, negotiate with all these things I've done. It's just how I'm built, right? I don't know what's going to be said on the 29th. I really don't. What I do know is. The fact that Brad Garlinghouse, Stuart Alderetti, and those guys are in D.C. talking to them about regulation, talking to them to try to help bring clarity to the space. And here's what I'll say, and you guys take it for what it is. I really, I love you guys, but for those who don't get it right, it's what I don't give a damn. Why Ripple? Why wasn't the founders of Pepe there? Why wasn't the founders of SafeMoon there? Why wasn't the founders of Chicago Coin there? Or Baby Doge? No, Ripple. Ripple. The same one they attacked and got legal clarity. Ripple. Come on the XRP boardroom tonight. Hell yeah, come on, brother. Come on now. Come on. I'm already there. I'm there. You asked me, whatever you asked me, brother, I'm there. The only thing I can't go to is the New York event, but if you'd asked me to go and I didn't know about it, I would go just because of who you are. Much love to my boy Crypto Tail. I'll be there. Let me know what time it is. Send me that information. You got all my personal information. One of the very few people who do. So send me a text message, Tails, and I'll and a link on Twitter, and you can hit me on my cell phone as well. Why did they choose Ripple, guys? Why did they choose Ripple to come down and help with a regulatory clarity framework? I don't know what Brad's gonna say in New York. I just know I saw the passion in his eyes in Vegas. I saw a man who knew more than he was saying in Vegas. I knew a guy who was hinting around to making comments with all the integrity in the world when he was saying weeks, not months. Weeks, not months. Weeks, not months. And all of a sudden, we got the amazing news from not only him in emails, it played out, and then shortly after, the historical victory against the SEC. You call, it's a split decision. Screw that. Who else got that decision? XRP. So all I'm telling you guys is I don't know what's going to be said on the 29th. I know it's a day to celebrate. I don't want to demise or demean or or not appreciate the victory that we had on July 13th, 2023. That in itself is worth celebrating. And I think with so much negativity, the fact that like-minded individuals are part of this crypto for life, part of crypto life, part of this XRP army, this Ripple family, this XRP community has a right to celebrate in a time where we're faced with so much adversity, corruption, from a government that should love us, that's only trying to hurt us. So for that reason, I would have been there, just with my wife, just to celebrate. You know, I told you guys on the 28th, we're moving my son down to a certain part of California, and then taking my daughter, moving her to Hollywood, and then we're going to jump on a flight from LA to Vegas, where we're going to be shopping for our new home on the 30th. So we can't make it. But I will tell you that in all my life, there's only a couple things that I got really excited about, like I am excited right now, guys. My utmost excitement is realizing the day that I realized that my mom was my mom and that was my hero. The days that my kids were born, the days that I signed my professional basketball contract, the day that I met my beautiful queen, my soulmate, my significant other, my queen Jeanette. The day that I realized what I had with the smartwatch, Apple Watch or iWatch, and we went into negotiation with Apple. The day that I've done so many, I mean, I can go on from days that I opened my own business, the day I made my first dollar. But one of the greatest things, and not to compare it to my wife or my kids and like that, but one of the greatest things that I'm excited about that goes into that category, not greater than anything, so I'm not trying to say it's greater than anything, hell no, but it's one of the greatest moments of my life, is the day that I realized how special this industry is, and the day that I realized how special so many projects are, including but not limited to Ripple and XRP. So here's what I'm telling you guys. Don't let them fudge you out of your position. Make sure you keep the main thing. Be a student first. Always do your own research. You get people in here, I got a gym and I got this and I got, okay, it's all good, but still do your research. Control your emotions. Don't hate on anyone and don't envy anyone. Figure out what your plan is and invest accordingly. This is about you and your family. Have a plan and stick to it. Appreciate where you're at, which is life-changing, and what this can do for your family. Don't chase, what's like TLC about say, don't chase waterfalls. Embrace the mud if you want to enjoy the rain. And appreciate, like I said, where we're at right now, guys. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I mean that with everything that I am. You may not see it now. There's people who didn't see it when Bitcoin was 30 cents. I wonder what they're saying now. Can you imagine XRP having this day, running up one day, even if it's in 2030, running up to 25, 35,000, and then settling back down to 10,000? That's almost equivalent to what Bitcoin did, from 30 cents, from pennies to 68,000, to coming back to 25,000 right now, 26,000. Is that a loss? Well, only if you got in it right now. But what about those people who got in at 30 cents? Like you have the opportunity to get an XRP at 50 cents, or XDC at 11 cents, or sorry, XDC at 5 cents, or XLM at 11 cents, or Algo, or any of these incredible projects, right? And it is a question on who will survive. It is a question on the attack that the SEC is bringing to all these different, and everyone's going to have to fight their own fight. Ripple, somebody said it today on the space, I think it was either today or yesterday with Dr. She, somebody came in, I think it was today, they were saying that the greatest thing that could have ever happened to Ripple is the same horrific thing that happened to Ripple, was that lawsuit 2.5 years ago. It gave us a head start, guys, and sometimes you don't even look at the blessings. Sometimes you don't understand why something happens until it happens and they become victorious. The most devastating thing that happened to Ripple could be the biggest opportunity, the biggest blessing, because just what you got to ask yourself. Now, I want to send some show. I got to get out of here, guys. We're over an hour right now, and I'm gonna be on the boardroom tonight for sure. Guys, thank you so much, sis. I'm gonna be there tonight. Shouts out to my man Sly Fox. I just seen you came in, my brother. What if Ripple didn't get this lawsuit 2.5 years ago? What if XRP right now was $5? What if XRP never had a problem and they stayed at number 3 and they were $10? The same thing that we're griping and moaning and bitching about could be the greatest blessing of our lifetime. And that's how I feel about it. Embrace the moment. Embrace the moment and understand the position that you're in, guys, right now. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Shouts out to the family. Shouts out to Crypto Tales, Liz Herrera, Sly Fox, JC, Sly. Make sure you check out the videos, bro. We interviewed U.S. presidential candidate Dr. Shiva yesterday. Today we had an incredible Twitter space. For those of you guys who missed the Twitter space, man, make sure you go back. What we talked about today was astronomical right here. Jack the Rippler actually hosted it. Me and Edo Farina were on there. It was phenomenal, guys. Your boy James, aka Six8Jay, was on there as well. Be supportive to all that we do. It motivates me to continue on. Thank you so much, Gmail Brown, Very Easy Hydroponics, Alan, Anthony Wanner, Nest Force, Crypto Tales, Liz, Sis, JC, all you guys are here, Sly Fox, all you guys that are here. I might miss some names because I know this kind of gone out. Wayside Soldier, Very Easy Hydroponics, Alan. Always want to recognize my family, Gmail Brown, Tails. I appreciate each and one of you guys. CKaz, Beekeeper69. I know there's some people I'm probably missing this way up at the top. Guys, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. It's your boy James, aka Six8Jay. Catch me tonight on the boardroom with Tails. Did Tails put down what time it is? Tails put it in here somewhere. 5:55 p.m. So, is that right? So you guys go over to Tails. Tails put a link in here. Check us out. I'll be on the boardroom with these guys tonight. Also, me and Edo Farina are going on every single Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which I believe is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also got some things that he's working on with Robert Kiyosaki. He's got some things that he's working on with some other powerful guys that actually he mentioned today. I got to try to get all their names. We're possibly going on Thursdays. There's a discussion of us starting an opportunity together. We'll talk about that at a later time. I don't want to spoil it. Just so much going on with Crypto for Life. The guys that, you know what, things don't always happen as you want them to happen. They happen as they should because people appreciate the work and the things that you're doing. I appreciate you guys. Much love. Crypto for Life. We'll see you guys mañana. It's your boy James, aka Six8Jay. And until next time, peace.